Okay, welcome back to the day in life of me. So I shot a video a little while ago. I know I come out with this story, start with this story a good bit, but I decided to scrap it because I spent a large majority of time talking about leagues, and it was a decent portion of time of me like dying trying to hike through 16 to 18 inches of snow. So I kind of decided to just trash the whole thing, which was kind of disappointing because I wanted to put an IRL video out, and considering I've been spending so much time doing leagues and other household things, so I kind of considered, I was trying to figure out how I could fit it in an episode, and today it's like 60 degrees. It's like 60 degrees, and most of the snow is gone. I came to the public trail. There was one car. It turned out it was two people, younger, about my age, a dude and a chick. I assume, well, I'm gonna try not to make assumptions, but yeah, they passed me, so I figured the trail's probably clear for me to actually do a video and not be interrupted or anything. So yeah, I noticed that a lot of these walks almost kind of feel like work. And I think it's mostly because of my pace. Like, now that I'm walking a lot slower because I don't want to, break my leg out in the middle of nowhere, it's kind of, it's a lot more relaxing. And it's hard for me to govern my speed because I'm so used to walking a certain way that it's like, yeah, it feels like I'm putting more of a strain on my body. But if I try to stop, I feel like I'm putting a strain on my body. Like, if I try to purposely slow down, it feels different. Like, it feels weird. So it's like a double-edged sword, I suppose. Now, one of the things I covered in the last video that I kind of wanted to talk about, and there's been a new addition to the discussion, I suppose. So, as I may have said, as I probably said, I listen to a ridiculous amount of podcasts. Like, I listen to a lot of, Ghosties and Wolverines and, Spider-Man and, Haunted Slippers and garbage like that, And I listen to a lot of, real world stuff, too, where it's let's not meet, I guess that's what they call them, and people that meet on Craigslist and crap, So I listen to a lot of that kind of stuff, too, because it's a nice balance. Like, I like a good fairy tale like the next guy, but I like things that can more relate to my actual life. I mean, I used to spend a lot more time in the woods, and I've never seen a Bigfoot. I've never seen a skinwalker or I don't know, Wendigo or whatever other mythical creature that so inhabit the forests. And then you got these stories of people that seen, one guy seeing them at different places all over the world 12 times. I'm like, dude, alright. I don't know what kind of story you're trying to sell, but I spend a lot of time in the woods, in a lot of different places, and I never seen crap. The fact that somebody claims to see something once, okay, maybe, I don't really, and of course the train's coming through while I'm taping, that's awesome. But somebody sees something once, maybe. I'm not discounting the fact that it might be a real thing, that there might be, a Bigfoot or some undiscovered creature. I feel it to be highly unlikely unless it's in, the depths of the ocean or the depths of the Mariana Trench or, something inhabiting the Dead Sea or the jungles of the tropical rainforest, or maybe something microscopic or very small that's been undiscovered. But for somebody to be like, oh, I was walking in a national park and I saw a whole herd of man-eating chupacabras. I'm like, yeah, sure, dude. Me too. I was about 3 tabs of LSD deep. Saw all kinds of chupacabras. But, yeah, I mean, I believe in, like, aliens and junk. I think it's a possibility. I would think that if the universe is as vast as we're taught it is, that we would be naive to think that we're the only thing with consciousness in the world, or universe. So, I mean, I try not to discount those things completely. I don't even discount ghosts and junk. Like, I think when the thing that you are deteriorates to the point that you can't inhabit the vessel anymore, what happens to you past that point, I kind of think it's like a reincarnation thing. But, I mean, I don't have facts to back that up, and, well, nobody should or does. But, I mean, I guess if, like, something unforeseen were to happen, that your next vessel that your soul's going to inhabit would be corrupted, destroyed, or changed in some way, that you might float amongst the ether, so to speak, for a period of time. So I mean, I don't completely disregard these things. I'm a see it to believe it guy. That's why I'm not religious. But I don't look down on people that do believe, because I can see how it could be potentially possible. Anyways, with that big tangent out of the way, one of the things that kind of really grinds my gears is these stories of girls and guys that usually the guys ones are a little more rare because, that manliness doesn't want to really talk about it unless it's like, one of those homosexual things, which we'll get into that too. So like, girl meets guy on the street, and guy is like, we'll say 24 years old, and the chick's like 20. He's been living on the streets for about a month, has a lazy eye, so he's not in the best physical appealing, he doesn't have the best outward appearance. And, he's like, oh wow, that girl's so pretty, I wanna get her number. And like, just by him approaching this girl, like, the girl's already, like, in her head's already trying to figure out the 911 call for when he's, like, dismembering and eating her organs in a back alley. And I made a comment about this, because I'm like, sometimes guys or girls get into that stalkery, creepy vibe persona because of how people treat them in the first place. And that's kind of like the thing I was trying to purvey with my story, right? So I'm like, people don't really consider what somebody went through, and that something as simple as giving somebody a chance could possibly change an infatuation or a stalker situation into a happy ending, or at least maybe a peaceful departure, instead of it turning into cops being involved, ruining everybody's lives that, cross paths with this storyline. It'd be like, meet them in public somewhere, have a picnic, go fishing, talk about the world, keep it safe, but treat them like a human being, and don't have 911 on speed dial, just from saying hello. And that's kind of where my comment was going. I said something like along the lines of, if you're an attractive woman and somebody approaches you and you're not the cardboard cutout of what this society dictates as a perfect male figure, then you're disregarded right away. And somebody like right away commented on my thing like a couple of days later and called me an incel. Now, I didn't know what an incel was, so I had to go and Google it, right? I think, I don't remember the exact words, because like I said, I put some thought into this, but it doesn't bother me too much, because this is this is the way the world is. Like I ain't gonna change it anytime soon. So this is kind of like just how things are. It bothers me more of like disappointment in society rather than my personal feelings got hurt because this YouTube commenter called me a name. But they called me an incel. So I looked it up, and it's I guess the internet definition is a young man on the internet that doesn't feel like they can attract women. Now, with my comment, I was talking about the stories, not so much my personal life. I have a hard time deciding if that's, well, oh, my earphones, my headphones, no. I have a hard time deciding, well, no. They had no reason to call me that. There was nothing in my comment to warrant that conclusion. But I thought about it, and I guess they're kind of right. I mean, I don't think I can attract anybody, but that's more of like the town I'm in, the situation I'm in, not so much that I can't. And I preference this, I back this story with, you know, I've been with some partners that some people would, you know, die for, like, no joke. I've had friends that, you know, were pretty mad at me for some of the relationships I ended up in. But that's not to brag, because I had quite a few less than good ones, and I've had a few that were very good. So you know, it's more of my situation, but that's besides the point, okay? So then later, I got another comment, and this, I think it was a girl. I think these are both girls, because I don't see any self-respecting guy that isn't this societal Ken doll is going to say that I'm wrong. So I'm pretty sure they were both women. They're like, oh, a girl doesn't owe a guy a date if they don't feel safe. And I don't understand anywhere in my post that I made it seem that way. I was more or less saying that a lot of things could be avoided, a lot less drama could be caused if given the guy a chance. And I was pretty much putting it out there that, you know, a large portion of these stories are simple overreactions. Like, there would be ways out of it without it blowing that far out of proportion. So that's kind of what I was trying to get at. And they made it sound like I was like, oh, you know, 50-year-old, toothless, lazy eye, half-balding, wispy-haired, drunk dude on the corner asks Jennifer Love Hewitt out on a date, she should do it. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, in some situations when somebody's socially awkward, instead of, you know, redditing your taser, maybe actually talking to them could actually, you know, solve some problems, making it very clear that you're in a relationship, or making it very clear that you're not looking for anything, or making it clear that you would give it a shot, but you want to keep it safe and public and friend-based until future notice, could save a lot of, you know, wasted police hours and, you know, unreasonable reactions. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I think I actually conveyed my message better in this video, because I ain't trying to, like, wade through snow. It was basically swimming by the time I got halfway out in the woods. But I was going to go back and reread what I actually writ before I did this, but I was like, nah, there's no point, because what I said, I can guarantee that I was probably drinking, and I can guarantee that it was supposed to come off more as a joke, generalization, or a springboard to a conversation, rather than something to offend somebody, or something to, you know, warrant negative behavior. It was, I was more commenting on the stories than calling anybody in specific out, which got on my nerves a little bit, because it seems like it kind of makes me a little bit on the happy side, because you got these people commenting on my clearly speculatory, unimportant comment, acting like I just, like, you know, I don't know, what's a really horrible thing to do? Acting like I just punched a baby bunny in the face, when in actuality, they're pretty much incriminating themselves, because, you know, I was calling out a very open problem, and they're bashing on it like I'm saying something wrong, when I most certainly am not. I'm basically trying to shed light on the other half of the story. So, for the guy that had one too many beer and got a little too flirtatious with some girl he found attractive and ended up getting a restraining order just because he asked for her number, not the guy that, you know, stalked a girl for 2 months and hid in the back of her car. You know, I'm trying to say that there's a difference, and there's levels. There's levels to what warrants police activity, to what warrants repercussions, and what could be easily solved by, you know, just being a good person and keeping an open mind. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Now, I'd be the first to admit that I've admitted this many times, that I could be a bit vain. I have a streak of vanity, but what I shoot for in a woman, what I shoot for in a partner, I think is kind of like, I know people get all upset doing the number game, like being like, 7 out of 10 or whatever, but it's kind of like, where I set my bar, like what I go for, is kind of fair and in my league, so to speak. Like, I don't think I'm gonna hook up with no underwear model anytime soon. I don't think I'm gonna hook up with, you know, some, you know, Nobel Prize winning, you know, genius. I'm not trying to sell myself short or oversell myself. And I think that I keep a pretty good baseline. Like, I don't go for the Barbie doll for several reasons. And I don't go for the 300-pound chick with 4 kids either. Because, you know, one's out of my league, and the other one isn't going to do things that I want them to do. And if I don't have a sexual attraction to the opposing party, then it's not a relationship. I don't care what people say, you know. Sex is not everything. Sex is not, you know, the most important thing in a relationship. But if you're not attracted to the person, it's not a relationship. You're friends. Like that's just how it is. Like, you could be really good friends, but if you're not doing the nasty, or have intention of doing the nasty, one of you is using the other person, or, you know, you're just friends, because that's just how it is, in my mind. You can argue if you like, but that is the facts. That is a fact. You can, if you're no longer capable of doing those kinds of actions, and you still want you still want relationships, I'm not saying that you can't have a relationship. I'm just saying that it's a different kind of relationship than a real physical boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Like that, in my eyes, in my opinion, the difference between a relationship and a friendship is, you know, the romanticism. I can love a friend as much as I love a partner, but I'm not, I'm trying to think of a cute little analogy for doing the dirty, but it ain't coming to me. The difference is, unless I'm a scumbag, of course, I'm not boning my friend. I'd be boning my, you know, romantic partner. So that's the difference. Anyways, I think that's enough of that. I wanted to, I kind of wanted to throw this out there because I was thinking about it. Like my view on this whole situation is if 24-year-old man with a lazy eye that's been homeless for a month walks up to you and says, "Hey, nice butt." I mean, you're gonna ready, not you specifically, watcher, like in general, the general public, they're gonna ready their taser. But if Taylor Lautner comes up to the same girl and it's like, "Hey, nice butt," you know, she's already writing down her phone number. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. And the homosexual part I wanted to get into. The reason I use Taylor Lautner as a lot of examples is because, no, I'm very, very, very straight. But like I said before, I don't like my own, let alone somebody else's. Just freaky. But anyway, the reason I use Taylor Lautner as an example a lot, not that I know the guy or anything about him, not that I'm calling him out or dissing him. I'm simply put that as far as male people are concerned that are well known, I simply think he is far more attractive than most others. So, like, if people are getting into that Magic Mike garbage and stuff, I just always thought, if I had to choose a physical appearance of a person of the same gender as attractive, it would be Taylor Lautner. So yeah, okay. That's enough of that. I just thought I would throw that little personal tidbit in there. So I don't select him because I have any sort of reason to, other than the fact of, you know, if you were going to pick somebody well known that's attractive, that's just kind of like who I would choose to represent what I would view as attractive, I guess. Okay. Anyways, like, you know, the whole Jennifer Love Hewitt thing. Like, when I was much younger, and one of the first movies I watched before she before she grew up, and she was a little bit more, I was like 14 and she was like, you know, just getting into the movie career, I thought she was like super attractive. And I mean, she's still attractive, but some things have changed that I don't know if they were natural changes, and that's kind of a turn off to me. So yeah, but so, like, you know, it's just kind of using my preferences to easily explain a situation, I suppose. But that's enough. Like I said, that's enough of that. Dragging this out. I'll hopefully post this tonight. I've been having troubles with my editor, my computer program that I use for editing. So kind of just see how it all works out. Thanks for watching. I did want to say something at the beginning. I'll say it now. I apologize to anyone that has had a creeper situation where they actually had to have, you know, police involved or anything like that. I'm not diminishing the seriousness of the situation or looking down on somebody for protecting themselves. I'm simply trying to help people see both sides of the coin, rather than just be like, oh, that's what society says, that's what the government wants, that's who we are, we're just gonna go with it. She's pretty and she said it, so it must be true. You know, I don't want that. If I'm gonna change the world, I figure the only way I might even have a glimmer of hope is having everybody see every angle, rather than just taking things at face value. All right. Later on. Catch you guys next time.